Alright guys, welcome back to Dark Souls Remastered. Last time we made our way back here to the Undead Asylum and had some analog stick problems. Hopefully that is kind of past for now. We tried to take on the boss of the area and some of the Black Knights. We died to all of them, but that's fine. It's not really important. We got what we came here for, which was the peculiar doll and also the rusted iron ring, if that's something that interests you. We're just going to ignore these guys and head back to the nest at the top of the hill here and make our way back to Firelink Shrine. Today our idea is to go to Sen's Fortress and move on with the main story. So unlike whenever you leave Firelink Shrine to come to the Asylum, you can see that the transition's much quicker coming this way. Okay, I will not complain about that. We lived, that's all that matters. We shall never speak of it again. You can see that item on the other rafter, by the way. You can go get it if you'd like. I think it's just like a large soul of an undead or something. It's not really important. We'll heal up just for good measure, even though we're heading to another bonfire up in a minute. As you can see now, we've rested at the bonfire a few times and these guys have gone, but Petrus isn't there. He cries and he's very sad because he's lost the woman he was supposed to protect, that woman who was there in the last episode, kneeling and praying. He was supposed to go down into the catacombs with her, Vince and Nico, which is still great names for bodyguards. And somehow he's the only guy who seems to have come back and he doesn't know what's happened. If you haven't already guessed, Petrus is a bit of a strange one. One for the watching, as they'd say. And it's ironic because we killed Lautrec way back at the beginning because I let you guys know ahead of time that he was a bit of an asshole, but actually if you speak to Lautrec and ask him about people in Firelink Shrine, he'll give you a sort of lowdown on them. And that includes Petrus. He actually calls him out right at the very beginning and says he's not as squeaky clean as he appears to be. So, make our way down here and rest at the bonfire. I am unfamiliar. Do we have any? Yeah, we get Great Chaos Fireball. I suggest that we maybe take that. We're not really making use of pyromancy right now, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just head on. So, what they'll probably tell you as you head into Sen's Fortress here is by the time you get to the City of the Gods up in Arlondo, you probably want to have a +10 weapon. That is kind of true, however there is a blacksmith in Arlondo, so don't worry too much about it. If we can make our way through Sen's Fortress, that's all that kind of matters. There's an ambush here straight away, by the way. These snake guys. So we're going to trap this trap and get some free damage on them. Because these guys are kind of annoying. It should not be underestimated. They don't really take a whole lot of damage from kind of standard weaponry, I don't think. But certainly not from, I think, magic weapons. I think they're pretty resistant to magic. Which is funny. No idea how we didn't get a backstab on that dude. There we go. And he's just survived, so we'll just take him out as he gets back to his feet. Goodbye. If you can, then maybe try and get a hold of that machete that they're holding there. It's pretty good. I wouldn't really say it's better than our claymore, but it's decent. It's decent. Lots of creepy statues here, but we're going to meet the main component of Sen's Fortress right here, which is traps. Lots of funny traps. So, we're just going to try and focus on getting through the traps, one at a time, and then ignoring the snake men and fighting them later. As you can see, because the platform is so thin, it can actually help you avoid them. But I would say don't maybe try and push too far on at a time. Ugh. Well, maybe actually in this case it could be wise to... Yep. This is literally... Yep. And so begins Sen's Fortress. So as you can tell, it's maybe been a little bit of a while since I was last here. I think the best thing really to do is just try and avoid all the enemies if you can. It's a Dark Souls staple of just sometimes you just want to ignore everyone who's in front of you and kind of bomb it to where you're trying to get to. But I think in this scenario it is really kind of worth it because if you slow down for a minute, you can see what happens there. We just get caught up in everything. It's not really worth your time. There is like no checkpoints for the vast majority of Sen's Fortress. So taking all your time to clear every room out, and then you maybe get caught off guard by one enemy who knocks you off a ledge or something, and having to go all the way back to the beginning, and then you feel like you need to clear out all of Sen's Fortress again. So it's not really conducive to a good time. What we were hoping is that, you know... Oh. What we're hoping... Yay. That's what we were hoping for. Okay. Large Titanite shards, so there you go. If on the off chance we do get pushed all the way back to the start, we can now upgrade our weapon more. You really just kind of want to tiptoe your way through as much as you can. This dude's just chilling out and sleeping. Don't worry about him right now. This guy is going to try and... Yep, that. This is part 2 of Sen's Fortress's fun, which is that there are rolling boulder machines everywhere. Okay. So you know what? For safety's sake, I know I just said we're not going to take our time and clear everyone out, but for safety's sake, I think if we want to get this guy, yeah, bring him in here, backstab him. So there's a couple of nice things to pick up along this kind of way. You can see there's a snake dude up the top there. We really don't want to tangle with that. But if you go in there, you get the silver serpent ring, I believe, which will... There's a guy at the other end of this hallway too, by the way. Ah, Jesus! Ah, okay. This must be a remastered thing. In the OG version, I do not remember that did aggro on you from there at all. So that's new. So, our plan now then is just to pop some souls. And then we're going to go upgrade the Claymore a little bit more. And then we'll go back in. I wonder at this point if we can maybe change up our armour to be a little bit better for us too. Oh, I haven't given Andre the Divine Ember yet. Oh, that's fine. Nice, so now we have Claymore +7. If we get one more large shard, we can get it to +8, which will be very helpful. Now let's check our armour here. If we put this on, gives us a sort of medium roll. If we go with that, same thing. If we go with that, same thing again. Okay. What if then... still the same thing. Do you know what? We'll roll with it. This will prove to be the trickiest part, possibly, of the entire game. Because it's a lot more... I don't know how to explain it, like... Every part of Dark Souls, every part of every Dark Souls game, Dark Souls-like game is pretty much sort of like encounter management is the way I would call it. Like, you can separate each part of every level into separate encounters. Like on the bridge there with that snake, now on this bridge with the new snake. Things like that. They can be separated out. And Sen's Fortress has probably the most difficult encounter. Okay, he's not triggering the... That was weird. Sen's Fortress probably has the most difficult encounter management sort of things, because you've got traps going on, boulders going on, ranged attackers going on, close range attackers going on. Everything's happening. Does that other snake not respawn? I guess he mustn't. So, this time, we're gonna be ready. So he is coming down here. And we're gonna get him with that. So take that, and job done. And now this next guy is going to come through here. Or he's just going to attack the wall. And these guys just don't trip the traps? I don't understand that. Okay. Definitely should have been a backstab, as you can imagine. As should that have. Okay. He's still alive. Well, now he's dead. If you just hold to the left there, yeah, you'll avoid that trap, so don't worry about it. And now we get to this part here. So you can chance your arm, and if you think you're good enough, you can maybe try and make your way up to the top of there. Up to the top of the stairs here at the right. It's probably not going to happen, I might as well tell you that right now. One thing people have worked out you can do is if you master the backstep, you can backstep through the boulders and you will still take damage, but it won't knock you flat. We're not going to bother with that though, we are just going to do it the normal way. We're going to follow this boulder all the way down. And before we fall into the pit, take a little left. Now something you can do is wait till the boulders fill up this pit and then cross it over, and you'll find something at the other side. It's another covetous serpent ring. I think it's the gold one instead of the silver one. So that gives you more item drop rate, whereas the silver one gives you more souls drop rate. We are looking for an item bar. We must have a Lloyd's Talisman. Yes, Lloyd's Talismans are good for stopping people healing in PvP, but that's not really the main use for them, or at least not to my knowledge. Another good use for them is to spot mimics. Da -da -da -da. So there's a lightning spear, so if you need a kind of easygoing friendly weapon for this area perhaps in particular, then feel free to use a lightning spear. It's a pretty good alternative. This, you want to be ready to jump off. If you don't stop moving there, the lift will keep going to the top and it will crush you and kill you, so don't stay on there. Is it up there we're supposed to go? I think it might be. Yeah. We head up here, and this is where the boulder mechanism is coming from. So, what we want to do, I think we want to turn it to shoot down lengthways somewhere. Yep, and you can see there we hit somebody. We're going to hang out and see if it kills them. I know this is definitely going to run over 15 minutes, but for the nature of this area, it is worth it, believe me. So what we're going to do is let this kill this guy. Still alive, he's got a tiny bit of health left. Okay. So that's him dead. Where does this one go? Down the stairs. Right. That one goes outside. I'm not too sure where that one goes now. No, that matters. We're going to head down here. And you'll note that the wall that guy was leaning against is now broken, and the dude is dead. Because right here, there's a guy called Big Hat Logan. So if you're a sorcerer, and you have the master key, You can chat away to Logan and free him. And Logan is the reason that Griggs is here. Now, Griggs's assertion is that he's here for Logan because he is Logan's sort of apprentice. I think if you talk to Logan enough at Firelink Shrine, he starts to mention that he doesn't actually have an apprentice. And whenever you couple that with the shady nature of the fact that Griggs seems to be some form of sorcerer or assassin, it kind of starts to paint the picture of... And there's other things like Logan is seen as, whoa, being sort of eccentric and going against the normal teachings of a lot of the sorcerers in Vinheim. You kind of put that together, you get the sense that the sorcerers of Vinheim kind of get sick of yeah, it's Logan, isn't it? Yeah, see, so yeah, I was going to say, does this turn around? It definitely does turn around, that's annoying. That was always an age-old question people asked. Who turns the levers in Sen's Fortress? Who keeps it spinning so that it's always chasing you? But don't worry, the mimic won't wake up unless you attack it or try and open it. So you can just forget what that did. My handsome man there. And then head here. You might think that we're almost done. You wouldn't necessarily be right, unfortunately. Where are you going? Yeah, you're not coming down here. It's fine. There's no real shortcut in Sens until you get to the next bonfire. And the next bonfire is through still probably the most difficult part, yeah. So we're just going to do that and ignore this dude. You get to here. Oh, there's two more. I thought there was one more. There's actually two more. God damn. Yep, okay. I think the idea is just to sprint through. Yeah. Look, we made it. That's all that matters. There's a guy down here. There's a guy up there. And there's a guy around the corner. I'm trying to only trigger one of them. Okay, seemed to work. I'll just try to backstab this guy. And there we go. So he's dead. It's important. And now we want this guy dead. Does that kill him? Yeah. Third snake doesn't seem to be following us up. Flamberge, also a good weapon by the way, if you want to use it. Yeah, so here is definitely the hardest part. You've got to cross this tiny little thing with much faster spinning blades and this guy hurling lightning at you. So we want to get some throwing knives. If you have any throwables at all, we want them on right now. Work. Ooh, they're good. Oh, that was a bad throw though. Yeah, just like that, he's dead. So, how do we cross this one? I think you want to go two at a time. So, on one, stop. On one, stop. And there's a trap on the ground. Try not to trigger that. And then head outside. We're at the top. And we're at the bonfire. No, I'm kidding. No, we're not actually at the bonfire. We still have an even more annoying part to go. You see this dude up here? He hates us. And so he's going to throw one of these bad boys down. Which covers everything in fire. As soon as that fire ends, you kind of want to make a run for it. And then you want to come over here and drop off this edge slowly. What? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to get through Sen's Fortress. We are at the top. We can now make our way around the top part of the fortress. There's a lot of kind of giants to kill to get some good items off them. There's some NPCs. There's a merchant. lots of things to do still here in Sens before we even move on, so I think now is probably a good place to stop. I just wanted to show you guys how to get past the trap part of it. Start the next episode with much more traditional sword and board stabbing, slashing, clearing out the area, picking up some good items, and it'll finish with us killing the boss and moving on to Anorlondo, the City of the Gods. So that is going to be it for this episode. I know it ran over a good little bit of the new timing, but it was important that we got through this part of Sens because it was probably the most frustrating part of the game, barring one or two sections. So we've done that, we're here, we're ready to move on, and we're officially almost at the halfway point of the game right now as well, so that's great news. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video or learned anything from it, please leave a like. If you've got any comments or feedback for me, please use the comment section down below, and if you want to see more content like this or other guides I have here on the channel, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. But until next time guys, look out for one another. Okay, see ya.